Well, continuing with our barrage of daily Trump questions, because that's all you people are writing to me about Donald Trump, and sometimes Hillary, and sometimes Joe Biden, but mostly about Trump. I understand that for those people who don't like Trump, can't stand Trump, are tired of Trump, whatever, the constant exposure, especially on television, can get pretty wearing. I hear from some of you as well. And not only is Trump out there doing interview after interview after interview, but last week he holds a presser and a rally in New Hampshire. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC all take it live. He holds the big rally in the stadium in Mobile, Alabama. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC take it live. It does seem at times the campaign is turning into the Trump show. So I got an email from Martha who says, Howie, I heard you say after a lengthy Trump lead-in, at least Shannon Bream, I was on the Kelly File with Shannon Bream, knew no one had reached for the remote. I must really be out of step, but the second Donald comes on the screen, I fast forward until the segment is done. I do it on all the shows from the 5 right through the Hannity. I have also come to the realization that I may have to sit out this election. Well, that's interesting if people are so turned off by the summer of Trump that they're thinking that maybe they're not even going to vote. I guess that assumes that Trump, under this scenario, would be the Republican nominee. I do think that the news business has to go through some serious self-examination here. I've made the point repeatedly that we don't just award this airtime and all the columns that are written. The Washington Post op-ed page the other day had 4 pieces, all of which were about Trump to some degree or another. That Trump earns this, that he knows how to drive a news cycle, that he knows how to be provocative, and that is a skill that all candidates need, and Trump has it in spades. But we're carrying every rally where he's kind of given the stump speech with a few variations. We're not carrying the Jeb Bush town hall in New Hampshire. We're not carrying the Chris Christie town hall in New Hampshire, both of which took place, by the way, on the same night that the 3 cable news networks went live with the Trump town hall, some miles down the road in the state of New Hampshire. Then maybe we are contributing to the imbalance. And I do hear from people who say, I'm just turning it off, I'm reaching for the remote, and that's your right. Nobody forces you to watch, nobody forces you to read about Donald Trump. But if you're a journalist and you're covering this campaign or you're analyzing this campaign, I mean, Trump is a huge story because he seemingly came out of nowhere. Most of the experts didn't think he was going to run. And he's not only the leading in the polls, I mean, that would be one thing for a guy who's never run for public office, but he is really driving the campaign dialogue, whether he's talking about anchor babies, or building a wall along the Mexican border, or whether he's talking about healthcare or whatever. Other candidates are reacting to him. So it's almost impossible to filter Trump out of the coverage. That doesn't mean there's not some imbalance, and I think it's a point that we all have to grapple with.